Hello, hello, hello. Namaste. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. In good spirits. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of the story of the eagle. I've actually discovered that it's a myth and not actually true, but it is a story about renewal. And there's a story that the eagle gets to a certain age and takes itself up to a mountain and pulls all its feathers out, pulls its talons off, smashes its beak and waits for it all to regrow, and then goes and lives for another 30 years. But like many things out here, yeah, there's a lot of lies and a lot of stories, his stories, yeah. And however, it is an inspiring story, and I feel it does relate to man. Reflecting on my own life, you know, we have so many different stages of growth. We go through our childhood and our teenage years, and some reason or other, people think that you become an adult and that's kind of it. You know, you get into your adulthood when you're in your 20s and you're an adult. Well, I'll tell you what, from my life and seeing what goes on within mine, I've noticed so many different changes in us. And you've really got to embrace the change and develop, and you've got to leave the old stuff behind. You do have to get rid of your old crap, you know, like wanting to stay young and wanting to go out there and live that sort of lifestyle. It's not made for us. When you get over 40, you know, you want to give up them night lives and things like that. That's not right for people, okay? You know, the occasional going out occasionally and having a nice time, of course, yeah, but if that's what your life is, when you're 45, 50, 60, you haven't grown up. And I've seen some people out there who are in their 50s and 60s who act like children, who haven't matured because they didn't embrace the changes of life. They tried to stay young. And I think that we should just all embrace and graciously mature. And we are like beautiful flowers. We really are. And I tell you what, I feel that as much as the appearance of us isn't quite what it was like whilst we were young, the heart and the mind can bloom in such a beautiful way that you can just become such a lovely man or woman if you allow yourself not to be pulled in by all the crap and start developing nice qualities about yourself, like decency and goodness and integrity and you know, honesty, okay, and generosity and kindness, and applying yourself and learn your skills and work on all these new things that you sort of couldn't, you know, didn't have the time for when you were younger or whatever. So age graciously, be like that mythical story, yeah, that wasn't quite true. All right, but from mine to yours, you know, just keep blooming.